So I would like to make a thank you card. And rather than sharing a tutorial with you, I thought I would take you through my thought process from start to finish. So far, I have chosen my substrate. So this is a very cheap craft paper card with a matching envelope. I want to use this Tim Holtz paper doll as my focal point. And I know I want to give her transparent butterfly wings. So this is a butterfly image that I printed on an overhead transparency. So those are going to go behind her. I will probably cut the wings so I have a little more flexibility on how to position them. I love how she stands out on this craft cardstock, but I don't want to work straight on my card because I'd rather have the card have more layers on top. Let's put this envelope to the side. So I really like the contrast of the white here on this craft cardstock. So I do want to have craft cardstock as a background. This is not 100% the same color, but that's totally fine. I'll cut a piece so that I still have the option of adding another piece of cardstock underneath. So once I have that, I'm also going to cut another piece of cardstock, this time in white, to fit in between these two layers. I am not sure yet whether I'm actually going to do this, but this way I will see what it looks like. I also want to add the words thank you, but I actually think I'm going to add them in German. It's just one word, danke. Because thank you is too long. I mean, I could make it work with smaller letters, but I would like to have bigger letters. And the person I'm going to give this to speaks German. So I might as well do the thank you in German. I never do this, ever. It's a very strange feeling for me. And I'm going to use these dies by Sizzix and Tim Holtz. So we have 2 alphas and 2 number sets in 2 different sizes, and this has the number 665924. I will link these for you below the video if you want to check these out. So she looks like she's leaning on something, right? So I thought maybe she could somehow lean on the letters. So these would be the letters. So this is the larger alphabet. Obviously, I want to do something with the background, but just so I know what I'm doing with my focal images. Now, the problem I have here is that you can't see the D if she's leaning on it. You know what I mean? Yes, you can still kind of guess that it means thank you, but I don't like that the D has disappeared so much. And if I just put it on the side, then what is she leaning on? Then I would have to find something else for her to lean on. And that's kind of going to disrupt my composition. So another option would be to use the negative. So if I do, for example, something like this, you know, I could cut or tear it here. Could do it again and have the letters closer together because I left quite a distance here and now I don't really have enough room. It would work, but it's not great. I mean, I love the contrast going on here. So I'll cut the letters again, but closer together. Okay, you see how this now is a lot shorter, the one on the bottom. Yeah, now it fits a lot better here. So I need to decide, do I want to tear it or do I want to cut it? I'll cut it. Okay. Yeah, you can still see that it's a D. So the background obviously still looks quite plain. So I want to stamp some words on the background. I'm going to choose some of these here by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. This is the set called Noteworthy CMS 446. I will also link these for you below. These have the perfect sentiments for this particular card. So I will choose a few of these, but I'm not sure yet which color will work best. I want something that's legible, but I don't want it in my face too much. So I have a scrap of the same cardstock so that we can try out some alternatives. So I chose Ground Espresso. So these are all options. Hickory Smoke, Pumice Stone, and Picket Fence. So I'll try each of these colors and then we'll see which one we like best. I should probably keep them in the right order, otherwise I don't know which one is which. So let's clean this. Oh, I like that one a lot. Let's try Pumice Stone. Beautiful. That's a really nice warm gray. I love that one. And lastly, ground espresso. This might be a bit dark. It's on the dark side. Ooh, it's on the dark side. But it would still be okay. I don't like the Picket Fence at all. You can see it better on camera than in real life, actually. My favorite is definitely the Pumice Stone, but I also love the Hickory Smoke. I could, of course, do a combination of both of those. They don't all have to be the same color. Yes, let's do that. So we don't need this, we don't need this. And now, of course, we need to think about the placement as well, because I want at least some of these to be readable. The most important ones obviously need to be in the places that we can see very well. So maybe this one down here. So interesting, on camera you don't see the ones with the Pumice Stone as well as the ones with the Hickory Smoke. No, other way around. So you don't see these as well on camera, which is really interesting because in real they come out in a similar strength. You know what I mean? Like this one on camera totally looks like it's much more in the background than this one, but in real life that's not the case. Maybe for you to have a little bit of context, it doesn't really matter, but just in case you're curious, for who is this card? Why did I put these sentiments here? It's actually a thank you card for my fitness coach. Because he's been awesome and we've been through some challenging times and he's just been amazing. So I wanted to make him this card. So all of these sentiments relate to my fitness journey and wanting to be in the best shape ever, even though I'm having to overcome several health challenges. You know, there's been a few times where I thought I had to give up because of my physical limitations, but he's always there to cheer me on and to give me the courage to continue this journey. So that's what this card is about. Okay, so I'm happy with these sentiments. So next I want to attach the wings correctly. So I'll cut them in half, take off the feeler. If you've been following my channel, you might know that I had broken a rib 3 months ago. So I couldn't train for about 2 months. And a few days ago, I actually thought I broke another rib. The pain was quite similar to when I had my broken rib, so I was panicking. But I went to the hospital, had an x-ray done, and thank goodness it's only a pulled muscle. I am so grateful. I'm still in pain, but I am so grateful that it's not another broken rib. It's a challenge when you want more than your body can do, and I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about. Next, I'm going to ink up the edges of my card with Pumice Stone. Then I sewed around the thank you, and I think I'll also sew around the whole card. Yep. So the background still kind of looks a bit boring to me, so I thought I would add some embossing glaze. I would have liked to add speckled egg embossing glaze, but I tried it on my little sample, and there you see that you can hardly read the stamping here with the Hickory Smoke. This one in comparison is with just clear embossing powder, and there we can see, although on the camera again it's not as visible as in real life, we can definitely see what's under this clear embossing glaze. So we'll go with the clear, and I'm going to use these circles. I'm using these a lot because I love them so much. These are from PM Artist Studio. They are foam stamps. They're very light and so much fun. They are so versatile. I'm just using them in most of my projects at the moment because I'm so obsessed. I will link these for you below as well. So let's use our embossing dabber. You can also use an embossing ink pad. I like using the embossing dabber because it is more juicy. So let's be quick so that it doesn't dry in the meantime. And another small one up here. Okay. I love this so much. Okay, maybe we should just let it cool off for a second before we add stuff on top. Okay. I also want to stamp just one life, but the word separately onto her dress here, but I don't want this really popping out. I'm not sure how it's going to look if I, for example, just use the embossing glaze pumice stone. I don't know if we'll be able to read it, and I don't have another Tim Holtz stone to test it on. I do want to stamp it directly on it, although I might regret that, because if I ruin that, I don't know how to fix that. So maybe I could try it first on just white cardstock to see if we can read it, because I think that should be similar enough to the Tim Holtz doll. And if it's too light, then we can always add the pumice stone by stamping it with the Distress ink. Like this, it looks great. Let's see what it looks like when it's heat embossed. So there we are. I'm thinking it's actually almost too much. I wanted this to be quite light. Okay, I don't really have any other options. So let's see what it would look like for the placement. If I do it with the clear embossing powder, yeah, you could read it at a certain angle. I don't like the placement. No, 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 no. I guess something like this would be okay. I actually like the pumice stone. Okay, so let's do this. So I'll take a Post-it to cover up the parts that I don't want to stamp. It doesn't stick at all. Maybe it's because I have the embossing gel on it. Okay, that's a little better. So we're just doing the dust. This is nerve-wracking. Nope. I got some there. Oh my goodness, I hope this works out. Oh, I see what the problem is, of course. While I'm dabbing on here, the gel is also getting on this. That's why that happened. I get it. So dab first and then add Post-its, and don't stamp it upside down, Barbara. Okay, okay, we have to work quickly. So first the dabber, then the sticky note. I think we got it. Now I have to be careful. Oh, I didn't think about that. That I don't melt my wings. I should have done that before, but of course, we didn't think that far, did we? We need to clean this up a little bit. You see the smudge there. Just take a brush, carefully get rid of that. And there's also some here. So I'm covering this up with my cloth and hope for the best. Wings are intact. We have our sentiment. Yay! So let's see what this looks like once we put it all together. So I've glued everything together. I'm very happy with how this turned out. And I do want to make a matching envelope. So again, I'm going to stamp these circles. I think these two are enough, but this time I will use the pumice stone instead of the clear embossing powder because I don't have any writing underneath. And that way we have a little bit of variation, but still the same theme and cohesiveness. This looks amazing. I totally love this. So now if we add the inside of this die, what I actually planned on using in the first place, I think that will work out beautifully. We have the inside and the outside. On one hand, I'm thinking it's too plain. On the other hand, I'm thinking it's the envelope. So I want the card to be more special than the envelope. This is kind of like a preview, you know what I mean? So I think it's fine that it's plain. So here's our finished card and matching envelope. I hope this inspired you to make your own cards. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.